So it really just occurred to me, had a little revelation. I just went through the cleaning, the four phrases, and went through it. I first, really was remorseful. I really was in a state of repentance for just being burdened by sin. Being burdened by sin and the human condition. For those things that I really am fucking guilty for. And we're running on autopilot so much. It really isn't our fault, but we are 100% responsible. And then to look for, to have faith in, and eventually soon find forgiveness, understanding, and that progression. And like the gratitude for those very things that we were just apologizing for. It's almost like through the forgiveness comes a realization of their necessity for us to have gotten to that place of forgiveness that we just attained. Like that level of growth, the whatever it was, what it had done for us, and to us, but for us as opposed to us, right? It's like you hear these wonderful phrases, and it's not just the hot lingo, like be grateful for your challenges, It's a blessing. It's like, really? But to truly see it as such, though, to go through the realization of your hand in it all and all the grief that you've caused yourself demands forgiveness. Without the repentance and the forgiveness and everything that follows, and gratitude and being in love, then 100% responsibility cannot be attained. Really. Who's going to go there? It's almost like oponopono is like, it is the conditioning tool that gives you the strength, and it provides you what is necessary to actually assume full responsibility. As if to affirm, it almost seems like there's this conversation that goes back and forth, right? Isn't there? The more we can back and forth, the more we can conduct our share of that magical divine conversation. It's like the more we're feeding it, the more we're nurturing, watering the seeds, clearing away the clouds, letting the sun shine, incubating the wish into fulfillment, into manifestation. Because I believe nature and divinity, that maintains itself, that keeps poking on in, that's always watching. We're just not always aware. But anyway, it leads you through to this place where then there's this appreciation for the challenge, for the problem, which usually involves people, I have to say. On some level, most of it trails back to people and our interactions with them. The way we conceive them in our minds, in our imagination. After appreciating genuinely by experiencing the growth of yourself that comes from the challenge, after kind of realizing that and taking the update, just comes a sense of gratitude. This is what it's all about. This is what you're in for. And so despite the pain or the grief or however long or however deep, you're here now, finally, and there comes a sense of peace, a sense of gratitude. And then through that, being thankful for them, those whom at one point may have been your enemy, now seen as appreciation, seen as you. That's one of those obscure aspects that I think comes with the gratitude. When you're truly learning that the problem was, in fact, a privilege, a blessing, grist for the mill, if you will. Grist for the mill, or like fertilizer, for the soil, for the earth. It's shit, right? But it helps to ensure a healthy, bountiful harvest, doesn't it? What may help usher that into being, that sense of genuine gratitude and understanding, may be the realization that they are you, But really, that you're God, but they're God too. You know what I mean? I mean, even if at the very least, like, you brought them into being, they're in your, they're here, you brought them here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you weren't responsible, they wouldn't be in your life. Like that whole, right? Whole oponopono, Dr. Hugh Lenz sort of thing. But it's true, if you weren't a part of it, then it wouldn't be a part of you, right? You know what I'm saying? Reverse engineer that one. It's the same thing. But the point is, here's these tools at how to handle that, how to handle being responsible, how to handle this sort of kind of new way of proceeding through life and the world. You wrote them in. They are you, because you made them like that. And so you've got the Neville Goddard thing. How do you want them to be, and all that visualization stuff, like we've learned in the last chapter or two chapters ago, especially, right? About people, about attitude. Impress upon them in your imagination how you want them to be. Make the switch in you, like Ho'oponopono. You clear the program in you, go to zero, set the stage, let divinity. But in this case, I mean, you're actively engaging your imagination consciously, right? But the premise is still the same. The premise is still the same. You're clearing the faulty program in you, and you're, as a result, eliminating it in them. You're clearing away your own clouds, and what happens? The friggin' clouds part in real life, and the sun shines forth in the world itself. That leaves you in a state of love. When you realize the connectiveness, when you realize then that they too are God, that they are you, that, when you realize that from a place of power, having gone through the progressive steps that got you here, having gone through the repentance, having found forgiveness, having found a genuine gratitude and understanding, very larger concepts of understanding and connection between you and said problem, which now is no more a problem. You begin to almost, by its own very nature, it is a state of love. It might just be the erasing of the clouds and then the sun shining forth on its own. But what we're left in is a state of love, really, of God. It's like being more aware of those other aspects of yourself, being more self-aware, self-identity. You are God. I am. But in terms of, like, even the people, even the problems in front of you are you. Like, to see that, because then they're no longer a problem. The problem thing dissolves when you realize that you are one with them. when you kind of sort of glance that, it is love. You fall in love with yourself, as Dr. Hewlett says, you know. Be in awe at what God can do. God is love. I am that I am. Right? Just wanted to get that out.